If you miss your backhand deep on a fairly regular basis, in this video I'm going to show you what the reasons could be and obviously also how to fix them. So especially if you're a newer player and sometimes you just wonder why you miss a ball deep, you just simply don't know why, this is the video for you. Reason number one assumes that you don't have a technical flaw and you are simply being too greedy. You hit with more pace than you can control, and that is why you miss them deep. So the first tip, I know it's hard to hear, is to simply take some pace off. Yes, I know you want to look like Aryna Sabalenka when you nail those backhands, but if you miss too much, you simply got to tone it down. If you pair the toned down pace with a better and safer target, you've already eliminated one of the absolute biggest reasons why you might be missing your backhand. Choose a target about 1 meter in from the single side line and about 1 meter in from the baseline. So that was one of the targets that I used to work with in the following drill. And of course, depending on your skill level, you have to adjust those targets. So if you're a newer player, maybe your target area is literally just behind this line or even in front of the line, this line here, if you miss the balls deep, or your target zone is in between those two lines. Whatever it is, you do not aim for the baseline because that's too greedy of a target. So here's the drill. If you work with a coach or even the ball machine, have them feed to your backhand and you aim for 5 in a row into your respective target zone. If you miss one of the 5, you have to start over. The other drill is a partner drill. You time yourself for 1 minute and you go cross court, backhand to backhand, or should you be a left-hander or you play with a left-hander, then of course the exchange is down the line, and you count how many balls in a row you keep in play. If one of you misses, the count starts over. And both drills, usually because people want to compete, whether just against themselves or even in a team setting against other pairs that do the same drill, people tend to start slowing down. And that's exactly the manageable pace that they can use. And that's what you use in matches. Reason number two is that you do have a technical issue, and for me that starts with the grip. Especially if you have a one-hander, you cannot stray too much from the ideal. What is the ideal grip, you ask? For a right-hander, the underside of the index finger knuckle and the meaty part of the palm for the one-handed Eastern backhand grip need to be on bevel number 1, and that is the top one right here. So as you're making contact right here, you see the top side of the knuckles squared up. If you were to hit with a continental grip, the racket face is too open, and if you're coming over too much the other way, yes, some pro players do that, but they can handle it. Usually your racket face is too closed and you miss them in the net. Ultimately, your ball goes deep out if at contact your racket face is too open. Ideally, as you're making contact, whether it's a one-hander or two-hander, doesn't matter. Your racket face is either completely neutral, meaning perpendicular to the court, or even ever so slightly closed. Any degree up, again, with a harder swing, and you're going deep. And there can be different reasons why you're making contact with too open of a racket face. If you mistime your preparation and you're hitting the ball late, a lot of times the racket face is open. This can, for instance, happen when somebody bombs a serve at you and you kind of insist of still having a full windup. That is when you quite dramatically have to shorten up your take back. It could be that you're literally just having it down here and bring your racket forward here and just block it. Another reason why you might be making contact with too open of a racket face is simply if you're mistiming your take back and you're just too late and you simply don't have the time to get at the ball with the correct angle, and you guessed it, racket face open, ball goes deep. But for that I have a great drill just to help you time your preparation correctly, and it's called the bounce drill. Whether you do it with the coach, partner, or ball machine, as the ball, the incoming ball, is bouncing, you say bounce, and you want to pair that audible command that you basically give yourself with the highest point in your take back and the furthest point of your take back. So as the ball rises up to you then, you have enough time to let the racket head drop and accelerate forward to your contact point and make contact with the correct angle. And of course, we're assuming again that you have the correct grip. Bounce. 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 Another reason why you might be making contact with too open of a racket face is if you're simply off balance and you're falling off the shot. And you see here, I'm being super dramatic obviously, my head is behind my center of gravity. I'm falling backwards and the ball goes up. And when does this happen a lot? And it happens a lot to newer players. It is when they're way too close all the time to the baseline, because a lot of balls come higher and deeper than they expect. And then obviously, if you're too close here to the baseline, your first step is backwards. And a lot of times they can't catch up with the pace of the ball, even if it's fairly slow, and they then have to fall backwards to still make contact. The easy fix there is start the rally and recover in the rally back to a deeper initial position. So one racket face would already be good, or even two, depending on the continuous depth and or also the pace of your opponent's shots. Yes, it's more work, but in the long run, you'll thank me. If you're starting from a little bit further behind, obviously you have more opportunities to step into the ball, and that gives you more control and, okay, fine, every now and then power. Let me know down in the comments which of these things you struggle with the most and which tip you want to follow to fix that.